What's up, guys? Welcome back to welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. Welcome back to the channel for a post game, post day live show, as we usually do on the channel. It's just me, but I haven't spoken about the game because I was at the game, so I didn't do a preview. I didn't do a preview. I didn't do a post match reaction. Julian did. Hope you guys checked that one out. I did a daily, but I didn't really spoke about the game. I left that part out because it's for the live. So I'm gonna talk about the game and a few things I want to discuss. Also, a few things that happened pre-game. I'm gonna say like the day before or like the same day, depending on where you are. And that's it. So let's get into it. I see a comment. I will read that out later on in the live because it's something I want to jump on later on. But yeah, so we lost. I've said it many times. Actually, I've said it at least 10 times this season. We lost. I think we lost 8 games in Serie A already, which is it's absolutely ridiculous. It's actually unacceptable. When people speak about improvement, and not just people, also the club, and mainly the club, but when you have fans saying we're improving, we're not improving. If you don't see it, then you probably are one of the people who love stats. Well, the stats show you we are not improving at all. Like, it's getting worse. But I don't think you need stats to see that we are not improving. Like, we're just not improving. Week in, week out, it actually gets worse, to be honest. I think we scored 1 goal from open play in general since the World Cup break. When we play like 5 or 6 games, it's madness, but it's a reality. That's what we heavily rely on. We don't have a play, we don't have a style, we don't have nothing to fall on to. We just don't. We absolutely don't. So we're not improving. And I like the mess up part yesterday is I saw the lineup and I don't agree with the lineup as well. I know we played on Thursday and we play on Wednesday. I don't care. You play Napoli at home. I'm speaking mainly the league in general, but especially we rotate so much, so heavily, and that for a team, so us, that have no cohesion whatsoever, it's unacceptable. When you have Vlahovic, Chiesa, and Di Maria on the pitch, it's like they never met before. It is what it is. And you rotate so heavily. We will do that again on Wednesday, and then we play on Sunday, and we will do it again. There's no cohesion whatsoever. I don't get it. I think it's unacceptable. Now, if we were playing Spezia at home, I get it. You were playing Napoli at home, you don't do that. You don't start with that lineup. That's my opinion. And I will go into individual players, But I think that's unacceptable. And not just because I was at the game, because it is what it is. But in general, you start your best players in that type of game with second place on the line. Now it's only 3 points off 4 plays, and they're gonna deduct more points from us. They make that clear and obvious with the clown show that's going on, and we'll touch on that as well. I will go on that again. Yeah, I will pick that up later on. But you start your best players in that game. Resting players, don't rest players, I get it. But you don't do that against Napoli at home. You just don't. You absolutely do not do that. That was a weird one to start off with. I will go individual. I will pick out player like Soule. Out of nowhere, Soule starts. Now I've not fine, but what is the thought process? I want to get into Allegri's head that makes him think, you know what? I'm gonna forget about Soule for a month. Gonna send him play 3 to 4 games with the under 23s on a Wednesday evening or whatever, and then I'm gonna start him at home against Napoli just randomly. He played well. I thought he was actually very good. I thought in the first half he was one of the only players you can give him the ball and he's not going to lose it. He's not going to do anything stupid with it. He was very good on the ball. He was very tidy, and he did what he needed to do. Then when Miretti came off, and because Miretti was playing to shadow Lobotka, like Kulusevski did with Brozovic previous season, last season. The only difference is Kulusevski made it look really bad. Miretti did a very decent job. But again, that's not what you want to. That's not how you want to use Miretti. He's not that type of player. But he did it very well. He took him off. He put Soule in there for a couple of minutes, and then he took Soule off. And at that moment in time, we totally collapsed. But I'll talk about that later on. But Soule, out of nowhere, and I have nothing against Soule because he played well, but just a thought process. You don't pick him for a month, and then it's Napoli at home, and you're like, yeah, you start. It's very, very random. Like I don't understand the thought process behind that, but whatever. That's that. But in that first half, it was. I want to say it was even. It was a bad game. Like the first half was bad, but I must say, being at the stadium, you see things you usually don't see on TV because the TV focus on who's in possession. You don't see the rest. Now you saw the entire pitch, and you need to give credit to Napoli. Like, it is what it is. They have a philosophy, and they stick to it. They don't budge from it. Like, it is that, and that, like, that's how they play. That's how they're gonna do it, no matter what. When they're in possession, they stretch the field like crazy. You have let me not butcher the name, Farishkelia. I'm gonna butcher it, whatever. He's just camping on the sideline. He's just camping on it. No matter what. Lozano, same thing. They're just camping on that sideline, And they're asking Cuadrado, are you gonna come in? Or what? Who else? Are you gonna cover me or not? If you don't do that, that ball is gonna be flipped really quickly, and that's what happened. If they do that, it's gonna be Nguissa and Ndobele just playing it through the middle, and that's how they play. And it was actually scary to see. The only positive about it is Napoli played a poor game. I don't think Napoli was very good as well. So we got away with a lot of stuff. The flip side is we had so much space, especially in that first half, because again, you don't see it on the TV. On the pitch, you're like, wow. The only difference is if you have Chiesa on that pitch or Di Maria on that pitch, they will make those runs without a ball. They will do it. Kostic wasn't doing it. Cuadrado is terrible. Like, in the first half, he was playing against us. Like, he was actually literally trying to play against us. I remember in the first 10 minutes, the ball just comes strolling to him over the, like, just a simple pass. And somehow, some way, he tries to control it, and it just flips in the air for like 2-3 meters. I'm like, no idea how you do that. And we almost concede. He loses the ball. Terrible player. He's done. He's absolutely cooked. Like, it's even worse when you see him playing live. Like, he just can't. It looks terrible. In the first half, one moment he gets past this player on pace, and for some reason he's like, nope, I'm gonna turn back, and he loses possession. Terrible decision making. Just absolutely done with it. I said it a few weeks ago. De Chilio as well, not good enough, needs to go. I'd rather play De Chilio than Cuadrado because I know De Chilio is not going to do anything stupid. It will look absolutely bang average, but he's not going to kill me. He's not going to kill the team, whatever. Cuadrado is. He's doing absolutely random stuff. It's unwatchable, but we know that. We knew that. He's just not the same player anymore. So that's that, but overall, that first half was just flat. Like, there was nothing in it in that first half. There was nothing to be excited about. Absolutely nothing. And it felt like that game is just going to end 0-0. It was that type of game. It was a game where we were just like, okay, it's a point. And Napoli was like, yeah, we're going to win the title. If it doesn't happen now or next week, it's going to happen anyway. And they were not really pushing. It wasn't like suffocating. It wasn't like that. Like, I never had a moment over those 90 minutes, oh my God, we're going to concede a goal. I never had that moment. I never had that feeling. We did, but I never had that feeling. So I thought that game's going to end 0-0, That's that. the other thing is, which I'm actually happy I was at the game, because now we talk about Vlahovic, we talk about Milik. Had a terrible first half. Second half, it was much, much better, you know? He was really working his ass off. But now you can see how we play when the camera is not on Milik or Vlahovic or Keane. You know, when we're out of possession, it's if I were Milik or if I were Vlahovic or Keane, I think I would cry going home. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like isolated, like I've never seen before. Like it's not even like there's not even a player close. Like it's not even close. There was a period, I'm gonna say from the 15th minute to the 17th minute, we were just hoofing that ball up top and just let Milik run at it. It was absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't believe Milik was trying to do that for like that stretch of 20 minutes, because it looked absolutely sad. Like it was absolutely sad to watch. You know, he was running for nothing. Like it is what it is. It's terrible. There's no link up play whatsoever. I've said it the previous week. The moment he or Keane or Vlahovic manage to keep hold of the ball and they lay it off, that ball is never coming back. I have no idea why. I have absolutely no idea why. The moment he lays off a pass, that ball is gone. It's not going to come back. He can make that run into the box. It's not coming back. It's absolutely... I cannot explain it. You know, there was a moment where I think it was Di Maria could have put a cross in because Milik was there. I'm not saying it was a goal, whatever, but that was the moment you're going to put a cross in, you know? And he delays the play, he turns, and then he puts a cross in, and that's a problem. Everybody from Napoli was back, and it was just Milik against 3-4 players. It made no sense. It made absolutely no sense. But now I've seen it live when we're not in possession. It's absolutely ridiculous to play as a striker for us. You know, one goal from open play in the last 14 games. Let that sink in. One goal from open play in the last 14 games from our striker. If that's not system, if that's not a system problem, the way we play, whatever, then I don't know what it is. You have still people making excuses about it. Oh, but the minutes per goal ratio from Keane is better. Oh, he's injured. He's this. One goal from open play in 14 games from one of our strikers. I didn't need that stat, to be honest, because I think we all have eyes. Like, we can all see it. You know, it's terrible. Yeah, again, Milik, second half, he was better in possession, on the ball. But he was fighting for his life just to control some of those balls, because it's not with an idea of I'm gonna play that ball to Milik. It's the idea is I'm just gonna put it up there. He's gonna be there somewhere, and hopefully he will make it work. That was the idea. It's just painful to watch. Like, it was painful to watch. And the worst part of it is he brings on Keane, Chiesa, and Di Maria, and you think it's gonna be better. It got worse. We lost complete control, and that was because Miretti came off. And he was a man marking Lobotka. Then Zielinski came on. But like the idea of what we were trying to do in the first half was completely gone. But if you had any shot at winning that game, you needed to bring in those players. With the flip side of it being you're gonna lose control of that midfield if you had any control, if you want to call that control. But there should be a way, especially at home, to have both, have control, and also create. We don't create. I think the first time I really said that was in January. I think one of the first few games after the World Cup, maybe even previously, I said we don't create. You know, we just don't. And I had people putting out stats with shots. Yesterday again, we had Napoli, 17 shots. Like, okay, shots are good. Like, 15 of those shots, like 10 were off target and 5 were just standard saves a goalkeeper is going to make. Nothing serious. That's the stats people use for us. Oh, we had 10 shots. When you look at those shots, you're like, what the hell? You're not going to score from that. You can see it. We don't create. And that one goal from an open play from 14 from open play in 14 games tells you we don't create. Just think back at the goals we scored. Just think back about it. It's all set pieces. It is set pieces or an absolutely crazy goal. We don't. Yesterday, same thing. There was no danger. There was no moment in the game where I felt we are gonna score. Never. It wasn't. It was just a bad game. It screamed 0-0. That's what it screamed. And that's what we wanted. And I had a feeling that was what Napoli wanted. Same thing. They tried to push towards the end, but I never felt in real danger. And we still lost that game. And I will touch on that later on. But in general, that was terrible. And it starts with the lineup. Again, yes, we played on Thursday. Yes, we play on Wednesday. But that's Napoli at home. That's not Spezia. I hate the fact that we rotate so much. Like that midfield, one time it's Miretti, then it's Fagioli, 2 games not. Then it's Locatelli, and that Barnechea gone. It's all very, very random. Like it makes absolutely no sense. It doesn't. But that's just me. I'll read out the comments before I go into some other things I want to talk about. Yeah. I thought Gatti was brilliant. Again, he was excellent. You should have maybe gotten a red card. You can claim that, but so did Osimhen in the first leg, and he got away with it. But I thought Gatti was brilliant, especially in the first half. He made some very, very crucial interventions inside our box, which is not easy. The atmosphere was terrible. There's no atmosphere. It's done. It was just Napoli fans singing. It was terrible, but that's what the club wants. Same can. Too bad Cuadrado never passed to Soule. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let me see if there was something else. Locatelli played well. Again, the stadium atmosphere, there was no atmosphere. Unless you were a Napoli fan, then you had a blast because it was amazing. But other than that, there's no atmosphere whatsoever. Like, it's done. What else? Okay. I had 2 topics I want to talk about. Okay, the goal, because that was a debate. Now, when that goal happened, my first reaction, and I told somebody sitting besides me, while we were celebrating, I was like, I think they're just going to call it back. But the moment Milik made that tackle, for me, in real life, real speed, and again, I wasn't sitting close to where it was happening, but I was like, that's a foul. It felt like a foul the moment he made that tackle. That the moment Di Maria scored, I was like, it felt like a foul. It did. It really did. He called it off. I wasn't surprised. Again, I hadn't rewatched it. I didn't. The only issue I have is the VAR cannot intervene. They can't because they haven't in the past. Çalhanoğlu, Rabiot, like there are so many examples. They didn't. So they couldn't intervene. Also because the ref was... he was basically on it. Like, he could have made the tackle himself. He was that close, so he saw it. That's why I don't like VAR in certain moments, because they're going to frame it, they're going to slow it down, and you're going to kill the sport. Like I said with the Leao tackle, like, was it against Lozano in the Champions League in the box? I was like, that's not a foul. Like, yes, you're going to make a tackle and you're going to touch a player's foot because you're both going for the ball, and one is coming from one side, the other one is from the other side. You're just gonna collide. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be natural. I don't like these decisions. I don't like that one as well. I didn't. Also because the VR couldn't intervene. Like, you can't. Those are the rules. Post game, that was the line. Like, you couldn't be doing that. You just can't. Because if you're doing that, then you need to play a hockey style of game, and you're gonna need to stop the clock every single minute, because it's not fun anymore. That's my point. I thought that goal should have stood. Because when you see that back, they both go for the ball. Milik puts out his foot to get to the ball. So did, I forgot the name now. And yes, Milik is there first. He touches, but like whatever. It is what it is, you know. And that's my thing. I want to say as well. I don't like the club trying to be the nice guy and all those things. They're trying to screw us over with the points deduction and all those things. Everybody's shitting on us. You have Sadi coming out saying the league is not real. It's not normal that they get the 15 points back because it's normal we get 15 points deducted. That's normal for those guys. But when we get them back because they messed up, it's not normal. So everybody is shitting on us. And you have Allegri post-game saying, oh, Fabri was amazing. He was terrible. I've still no idea why Rabiot and Locatelli got a yellow card. I have no idea how Napoli, when Milik was gone, you know, and he get pulled down, got away with a yellow card, you know. And you have Allegri coming out with the standard Juve line of, it's amazing, never complaining. Screw that. They're screwing us over, and the club is being quiet. They're being soft. It's absolutely ridiculous. The fans are all taking all the heat. Everybody's shitting on the club, and the only thing the club is saying is, we will do it the right way, quote unquote, while everybody else is not doing it the right way. Nobody cares. The fans do not care you're trying to do it the right way. I don't care. They don't care about us, but the club is still trying to care about their image. The image is gone. Speak up. They're soft. They're absolutely soft. I don't like Allegri coming out saying Fabri was amazing. He wasn't. He got asked about it. You'd tell him straight he wasn't good. Everybody saw he wasn't good. He had no control of that game. He didn't. It's not because we lost. It's not because of him that we lost, excuse me. But he was asked about it. Just say he was terrible. The fans are not going to say, oh my God, Stile Juve, you just messed it up. I don't care. Everybody's shitting on us. And the club is just sitting back and the fans are taking all the heat. I don't like that. But whatever, I guess, you know. That's the club, you know. If you go in the stadium, it's not the same as previous years. It isn't. The atmosphere is terrible. The stadium wasn't sold out yesterday. Like, I have no idea what the club's idea is of building a future, because the future looks terrible as of now. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. So that's that, you know. Am I worried for top four? Yes, I am. We're only, I think, 3 points behind top four. That's not enough. We already lost eight games. We can easily lose another 3 to 4 games this season in Serie A. Easily. Because we still play Atalanta. We still play Milan, excuse me. You can still lose those games easily. And the way we play against the smaller clubs, you can still lose those games. So yes, I am worried. That's why I'm pissed that he played with that lineup to start off with. You know, because he's putting all his eggs in the basket of, we're going to win the Coppa Italia, trying to win the Europa League, and that's it, you know. But it's not a given. It's not that we were 15 points clear of top four. Then I'm like, okay, we're not. You have no choice than play for everything. Like, there's no choice. You have no choice. Also, based on last season, you have absolutely zero choices. You need to play for everything. And you're not doing that. That yesterday he told us, I don't really care about the league. He did. Because you don't play that starting 11 against that side if you really care about it. He didn't, you know. I don't want to hear we played 3 games 2 days ago and we play again on Wednesday. They're footballers. Are they made out of paper? I don't get it. You know, I watch different teams, different leagues. They don't change 5 to 6 players every single week. They don't. It's just us. And we already have no chemistry in this team. And still, we're trying to do that. It makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, that's that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and that's when I lost my voice. That's my voice is gone. I touched already on Cuadrado. But what he did at the end of the game is unacceptable. Because you guys probably saw the incident in the box, and that's it. That's it, excuse me. Then the camera moved away. I hadn't took my eyes off Cuadrado. I didn't. I was looking at Cuadrado The entire time, I looked up and I saw the goal. That's what happened. What he was doing was an absolute disgrace because everybody saw that situation. The fact that he thought that was a pen, even the ref was like, "What the hell are you doing? Get up!" And then he lays down there, acting like he got hurt, looks up, strolls back up, plays with his shoes, strolls back. Raspadori, second post, nobody's there because it's his guy, it's his position, and we lose. That was unacceptable. You have Allegri coming out post game talking about Sassuolo. Yeah, Fagioli made a mistake, and he benched his ass 2 games. He did, and it's because of that. Nobody can tell me different. You can say yes because of Miretti, man marking that thing, blah blah blah, whatever. He said Fagioli made a mistake, and then you added, yeah, but whatever. Why do you not call out Cuadrado? Why is there no question about? I don't get it. Are journalists watching the same thing we are watching? He's terrible. He does that. Like, he should have get booked. That's when VAR needs to intervene. For that, it's a disgrace what he does. How on earth do you think? Like, I don't get it. Was he really thinking I'm gonna get pammed for it? The moment you don't get it, get your ass up and move. It's already disgrace what you did, and then just strolling, playing with your shoe, just strolling back. You can see it, and then he's with his hands up like, guys. I'm like, you know what? It's you. It's you. You already made a terrible decision in the box, trying to flick it behind you again, instead of just playing it easily, because, well, that's already difficult enough for you, as we have seen the last 2 years now. Then he does that, and he doesn't come back. And then post-game, nobody asks about it, or not even Allegri doesn't even bring it up. I'm like, that's terrible. Because everybody in that team knew that's on him. That's on him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I knew it the moment it happened. It was clear. It was never a pen. Like, it was clear as day. There's even a video of the ref being like, what the hell are you trying to do? Like, get up. Absolutely shocking. And you will get away with it. You will get away with it from Allegri, from the team, because that's who we are as a club. That's what the situation is. It is what it is. I can't believe it. But that's the situation we're in now. Unacceptable. But apparently acceptable for other persons. Again, he needs to go. De Sciglio needs to go. I still play De Sciglio over Cuadrado at this point, because I know De Sciglio is not going to do a fuck up on purpose that will cost us. He will. He will. He will. He's doing these things on purpose. It's not that he slipped or whatever. He was like, I'm going to trip myself here, basically. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I agree. Napoli, yeah, but we change our lineup for fun. Hello, thanks for watching from Bucharest, I think. Also, I met a person in the Juve Museum, Anthony, I think. If you're watching, DM me, because, again, I'm sorry. I needed to leave yesterday when we were talking because people were waiting. But it's nice that somebody watches the show. I was at the stadium, so what a coincidence. Jockey Bro was saying, even the commentator said, who knows where Cuadrado is? Well, he was just laying down, playing with his shoes, whatever. It's unbelievable. They are, Arif, if they are youngsters. They are. There's proof out there. If a youngster makes a mistake, it will get dealt with publicly. It will. Cuadrado will play next week. In a serious world, if we have a real coach with real balls and he has no favorites, he will bench his ass for 2 games straight, at least. Because that's a disgrace. Because surely today they came together at the Continental or whatever, and they look back at the images and they've seen that. But I know nothing is going to happen. But that was absolutely unacceptable, because he had so much time to come back. But he decided, and he got up and he was just looking. He was looking, and then he was like, okay, now I'm going to take a stroll back. it was disgrace. Like it was absolutely a disgrace for somebody of his age, experience, whatever. He should know better because he knew that was never a pen. He knew that. Unacceptable. But it's a standard at this club now. It is, you know. It's not going to change, you know. You have Allegri coming out post-game saying we will fight for the title next season when he said the same thing at this same moment in time the previous season, said the same thing in preseason. Who actually thinks we are going to compete for the title next season? Who actually thinks that we are 2 players away to solve all these problems? I'll keep saying it. You can add Casemiro on this team and Mbappe up front. We will still not win the league. We will not. Because we are clueless and we don't have a style of play. I keep saying it. We just don't. And when I say style of play, I'm not saying we need to play Pep style of football. We don't. But the style should not be try to get it to Kostic and let him cross. Because that's what we're doing. Especially in the first half, that was the idea. And he had a terrible game, so that was ineffective, and then we were done. We're cooked. So he might think it. I still believe he's going to walk. I believe it even more after yesterday's game. I do. Because I don't think he wants to be part of this. I think he feels like it's not working. And with the players at my disposal, it's not going to change. Because I'm making prepping videos for Fratesi or whatever. Because that's the news. And I'm making those videos, or like making the graphics. I'm like, we are not plug a player in and we are going to play well, or we're going to dominate games. We're not that in that situation. We're not. Because you can plug in a Casemiro. I'm bringing up a name. But the team in general is still very clueless. Like, it is. It is. And again, there are no positives if you lose. The only positive, if you want to say, is Gatti was excellent. I thought Rugani was good. He had his good game. So hopefully we don't need to use it again because we know how that will go. And yeah, that's about it. You know, Chiesa came on. I thought he wasn't good. He wasn't good. I thought Di Maria was terrible again. He wasn't good. You know, these type of players should have more of an impact. They should, even the way we play, they should have more of an impact. He wasn't good. So, yeah, you know. We, the fans in the club, act like the problem started when the board resigned. It started as soon as the season started. I agree. Like, the problems were there 2-3 years ago already. So, yeah, I agree. We need a new manager and maybe 2 players and easy. I'm not asking for an offensive coach, just a balanced coach like Sisu. I just want to see a clear idea. That's what I want to see. Because at this moment in time, I don't see anything clear. I don't. And that's the only thing I'm asking for. Just something clear that I know week in, that's what it's going to be. Yes, I know what's going to be now, but it's terrible. Like, like it's not sustainable. So, yeah. I missed yesterday's game due to a tech issue. How bad did we play? Well, you didn't miss anything. Like, that's all you need to know. You know, you didn't miss a single thing. It was terrible. It wasn't good. You know, we don't create chances at home even. Which is not a shock because you're not playing at home. You're playing away. You know, that was an away game. I have no idea how the club can sit there and be like, "This is great." You know, stadium being absolutely dead, getting dominated by teams on the pitch, but also off the pitch. You know, it was just Napoli fans singing for 90 minutes, and that's it. I have no idea how a club can sit there and be like, "This is great, man. This is what we need." A crap product on the field and a crap product off the field. Like Napoli, those games are always sold out. They're not sold out now. Also, because there are tickets and the club are trying to charge people over 300 euros. Which sane person is going to play with a family, is going to pay 300 euros to watch that? No sane person is going to do that. Unless you have money to burn. But even then, I will question that. If you're going to pay that type of money for a ticket. But yeah. You were at the game, right? Yeah, I got my money's worth. I had a good time. I had a good weekend. So yeah, we all thought Allegri is a tactician, and that's actually where we're struggling. Yeah, even his subs like Unity. It is. Uh, yeah, the Unity picks. Uh, after game need to stop now. They absolutely need to stop. I know what they're trying to do at the beginning. We got deducted 15 points, whatever. They're taking the piss now. Like they cannot read the room. It's absolutely. We look clueless on the pitch, but even off the pitch, like social media managers read the fucking room. Like you studied for this. I didn't study that, but we all know. No, you don't need to tweet that crap out. There are a handful of people who will eat that shit up, and that's because they are affiliated with the club. That's the only reason I can explain you will eat that Unity crap up. Because you have ties with the club, whatever. That's the only way I see you be like, yeah, Unity. How many times did he tweeted this out already this season? It's ridiculous. Like they studied social media managers and they cannot read a fucking room. Like it is what it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It's actually mocking us at this point in time. It is. It is. We've lost 13 games this year. Yeah. 8 games in Serie A. We lost 8 games. 8 games. That used to be 2 seasons combined. We're doing that in 75% of the season. We already lost 8 games, and I have people telling me there's progress. If that's not having an agenda and not willing to step off from an agenda, move away from the agenda, then you need to, yeah. I'm not gonna say what you need to do, but whatever. We're terrible. Like it is what it is. We play Napoli. We play Inter on Wednesday. Does anyone have a good feeling about that Inter game? Because I don't. We're gonna lose on Wednesday. We're gonna lose. Inter are not great, but they're gonna win that game. Our form is terrible. It's terrible. We play terrible. Before the World Cup break, we were terrible, but we managed to win games. Now we don't. We play against the Inter side who are worse than us, I believe, but they're gonna beat us on Wednesday without any issues. That's what I believe. And then you have no Coppa Italia. You're in a dogfight for top 4 because you started off that game like it wasn't important at all. And then what? Losing 2. Yeah. We've won 25 games out of 46 matches. You need it. Yeah. You can even include last season. Like the numbers are they're terrible. Like we're for 3 seasons in a row, we're in a dogfight to scrape top 4 again. How? Like I don't know. I don't even know how you can argue. Like it's actually a debate about yes, it's good and it's not good. It's actually a debate. I don't understand why it's a debate, but apparently it's a debate. Yeah. The only good thing is Cuadrado is suspended, so I don't need to watch Cuadrado play on Wednesday. That's already a win in my books because I've seen him live and I've seen enough for the rest of the season. And it wasn't just me. The entire stadium. He apologized in the first half. To the fans because he was messing up, but he kept doing it to himself. It was one time he lost possession when there was no pressure, but he just held on. To the ball so long. To a point where he was like, I have no idea where to go with it. And he just passed it straight. I think it was into No, it wasn't in Guisa's feet. And I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, there's no other word for it. And I had an entire stand, not booing him, but, yeah, moaning. And then he apologized because now we can hear it as well. He's terrible. Like, he's done. When I come on and say those players, Alexandro, Rugani, who played a good game, they shouldn't be at the club. Weed them out. Let them go. Don't hand out new deals. Forget about it. Play a youngster, you know. Play a youngster. I rather watch Barbieri mess up than watching a 34-year-old experienced Cuadrado mess up. Because at least I know it's a kid, or like a kid. It's the first time, With Cuadrado, it's like your experience, and this is not the first time. It's maybe the 10th time in 1 month, not even this season. So I'd rather watch those type of players mess up than watching Cuadrado mess up because he's terrible. And I'm singling out Cuadrado now because he was terrible yesterday, but also because there's talk about maybe 1 year deal. I swear, if he gets a new deal, I'm done with this club. Yeah, I agree things that he's helping the old players mentally if he just blindly supports them, but wants to make an example of kids. His way of thinking is destructive. I agree. Soule should start half of our games, to be honest. He always adds something. The Soule one is still... I cannot explain the Soule one because you get Di Maria, you bring Soule in the team to be his deputy, basically, and then you can see, can we move on from Di Maria or maybe 1 more year? We have no idea now if Soule is good enough to step up next season because we didn't try him or we didn't use him enough to be sure of that. And when we used him, we played him as a false nine one time, as a support striker. I remember which game was it? Was it Verona away? He played he played a part of the game as a number 8, almost basically. Play him on the wing. Just play him on the wing and let him play. I thought he was good yesterday because he didn't give the ball away. And very difficult situations as well. He always find a solution. So I thought he was good yesterday. But he needs to play more. Even Danilo missed so many passes in the last few games. We need so many new defenders. Yeah, I'm not going to speak about Danilo. He is what he is. Yeah. No idea when the rebuilding phase is. Any same manager would have started Soule a year ago. He needs to play more games, he goes with under 23s for 2 weeks and then boom, he starts against Napoli. It's all very... But Nichea, is he still with the club? Junior, you have Kostic playing terrible. He's in terrible form. And still, you cannot give Junior minutes. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. I don't. If he plays Barbieri, you would say what you said earlier. You can't start with those 11 in a game like this. Yes, you can. I don't think you listen. Because I said you cannot change 5 to 6 players. You just can't. Stick with your team. Make 1, maybe 2 subs, but whatever. In these type of games, But you start your best players. You start Chiesa, you start Vlahovic, you start Di Maria. You do, because they have no chemistry. They need to build it up. When is it going to happen? Because the season is done. You start with those players. If you make 1 or 2 subs, whatever, But in that type of game, no. That's what I said. He subbed the entire team, basically. It was a new team again. And Cuadrado is terrible. So that's why I'm saying I'd rather watch Barbieri or De Sciglio mess up than Cuadrado. Because I've seen Cuadrado mess up plenty enough times this season. It's okay. We suffered enough. He suffered enough. Just let him go. Let it go now. That's what I said. Yeah, I don't get the Junior situation. The moment that Klopp announced he's a first teamer, he never played for the first team anymore. I don't get it. The games are so hard to watch on TV. Statistically, it's just pain. Stylistically, it's even worse in real life. Because then in real life you're also looking at things you don't see on the pitch, and you get even more pissed off. You absolutely do. It's even more painful to watch. So yeah. Still happy I win. Good weekend, but yeah, the game is... It was so bad. I saw people mid-game, and not 1 or 2, but dozens, just on their phones mid-game. texting. So somebody was watching TikTok videos during the game, and that someone was a guy who was like 60 years old. Like that's the situation, and there were a dozen of people doing that. One person was playing, I think it was Candy Crush, or it looked like Candy Crush, mid game. Like it's ridiculous. It was that bad. It was that boring. I was looking around. I was like, this is bad. You had a 60-year-old, at least 60, watching TikToks while the game was going on in 7 minute. Seven. Yeah, it was something like that. Because then it started raining. That's the situation. But yeah, apparently it's all good. It's all good, and that's remember when. Let's say it was November, October. We won a couple of games, but we were terrible. And the first thing I said, and also Julian, because I remember Julian got called out one time for not celebrating, over celebrating. We scraped a win. You need to look at the big picture. It's not sustainable. This was coming. Like this was obvious months ago. Like it was obvious. That's why coming on, I'm not going to be blind and be like, oh, we won. I don't care about the rest. You need to, if you care about the club, you need to care about how we play as well. Is it sustainable? Yes or no? And obviously, it's not sustainable. People still complain about Vlahovic too. Like, technically, that's on him in certain situations. Like, he needs to do better. But I've seen what I don't see on camera during the games, and that's how how Milik was isolated, and I felt sad for him. I really did, especially from, I'm gonna say, the 50th minute up to when Chiesa and Di Maria came on. We were just hoofing that ball, and Milik was just running at it like a headless chicken. It was sad to see. And the moment he picks up the ball, he still needs to fight off 2-3 players, and then he also needs time because there's no midfield support. So many times, it was so bad at one point that Milik, Locatelli, and Rabiot just bumped into each other when there was no need to do that because Locatelli was in possession, but I don't know what happened, and Rabiot just ran straight into it because there was no communication. Like it's terrible. And also in the first half, was it Di Lorenzo? I don't know if it was Di Lorenzo. We were trying to put pressure on them. They didn't even look up. They knew where everybody was, and they just played it blindly. They flicked it over the top, and they were gone. They were absolutely gone because they knew where everybody was. We don't. When we hoof that ball up, it's just to get that ball away. There's no idea behind it. There's no, oh, Milik is there, he lays it up. There's no idea behind it. It's just get it away. It's ridiculous. Like, this is not Cremonese. It's Juve, by the way. What chances do you want him to score? Nothing. Again, yesterday there was nothing. I like the video, people. I'm out. My kid just threw up on me. Probably watching the game on the background. Sure, Cuadrado and got sick. Well, it's the same thing. Go clean that up. But yeah, that's that. I didn't even know what to add anymore because Julian did a preview, and the comments were like, "There's nothing like I don't want." I love to come on and talk about Gatti for 10 minutes because he's brilliant. I can do that. But what's the point? I gave him his flowers. I thought he was excellent again yesterday. He deserved to not concede a goal because he's playing at a very, very high level, in my opinion. But it's hard to go very positive. But in my back of my mind, I know we are terrible. And we still need to play Sevilla twice. We need to play Inter. We need to play Atalanta, Milan. It's just not fun to look forward to. That's the only thing. I was going into the stadium. I'm not going to lie. I was not looking forward to watch the game. I was in the stadium, and I wasn't looking forward to it. Like, I wasn't excited, maybe because it's not my first time as well. But everything, like, I knew what was going to happen. The atmosphere at the stadium is not there. You can feel the negative energy, or like the energy of we're going to get disappointed again this season or this game. You felt it. If a mistake was made, you fouled it in the stadium, everybody was like, ah, here we go again. You know, it's just not a good atmosphere at the club. It isn't. You know, if we were Roma, I think it would be okay because that's Roma. You know, fourth, fifth place, maybe third one time, whatever. That's not us. That's the biggest issue. Like the standards are high. I'm not dropping them. If you drop them, you can accept this and you will make 100 excuses. You will come out and say, "Oh, but this team is not good enough." Is it amazing? No, it isn't. Is it that bad that we should have lost 8 games in Serie A, 4 or 5 in the Champions League? Absolutely not. If you think that you lowered the standard or you have an agenda, you're just not gonna want to drop anymore, you know, or you don't respect the club and some of the players as well, or the coach you praise that highly, you know. Milik and Keane have a good touch and strength to hold off a defender when Dusan just takes 10-meter touches and fall over. That's all good and well, but we don't create chances. You know, I will buy, like, I'm nothing with Keane and Milik having an absolutely great hold-up play, but we still don't create chances. That's not going to win us games. So we can have, those two players can have the best hold-up play they want. We don't create chances, so I don't care. I don't care. Milik had a good hold-up play in the second half. We created absolutely nothing. So how did that help me as a fan or the team? It didn't. We don't create chances. Good hold-up play of no good hold-up play. We don't create chances. That's the biggest issue. You know, Milik, I'm okay with it. Milik is not a player that should be leading our attack. He's not a player who should be playing these type of games for 90 minutes. He's not that guy. Nothing against Milik, but he's not that guy. Like, have some respect for this club, you know, for the magnitude of this club. Don't lower your standards that low. I'm okay with Milik, but he's not that guy. He isn't. You know, if anyone believes Milik or Keane is the way to go forward next season, you're lying. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous, you know. You see what's happening out there. 1 goal from open play in 14 games for one of our strikers. And we are sitting here discussing the first touch. Yes, it's bad, but that's not the biggest issue. We don't create chances. And people say, oh, but Rabiot scores. Look at the goals we score. They're set pieces. Yes, he's at the end of it for some reason, but he wasn't for the previous 3 years. So you might call it luck. Like some people are saying, oh, now he's playing well for his contract. If you give him a new deal, he collapse again. So what is it? It's one of the two. But we don't create enough chances. That's clear. You know, first touch, yes or no, we don't create chances. And Milik and Keane are not the answer to go forward next season. They're just not. If you want to have the same type of season you're having now in the previous season, good. You can play the entire season with Keane and Milik. With Keane missing probably a lot of games, and Milik and Keane, well, being Keane, you know, it is what it is. But if you want to build on them, with them, because their first touch looked good, great. As long as we don't create chances, you can have Haaland up top. We're not going to score. I agree with you with Milik. Never liked that guy, but Keane can perform well as a substitute under attacking coach. I have nothing against subs, but these are not the type of players that should be leading our attack. It should be Vlahovic, and he should be doing better. I'll keep saying it, but we don't create chances. Every striker is struggling, and yes, goals per minute, but what does your eye test tell you? I've seen it with my own eyes now. I've seen things happening I don't see on camera. It's not good. If you compare that to Lazio, to Napoli, it's night and day. It's sad. You want to cry if you see that. If you just sit in the stands and you see the way we line up and how Napoli get their strikers in play, and you want to cry. You just want to cry. You want to absolutely cry if you see that. And it has nothing to do with a good or bad hold-up play. It hasn't. It has not. So yeah, there's just also there's no confidence in these players. Like, they're not getting goals. They're strikers. The pressure is on for all of them. It's not going well. you know what's gonna happen. Because Vlahovic's hold-up play wasn't amazing at Fiorentina, but it was decent. This now is in his head, and everything he does is going wrong basically. But same for Milik in the previous games and in the first half. The second half he picked that up, but you know what? We still didn't create anything. Milik's hold-up play was good in the second half, and what did we create? Nothing, zero. You know, we don't create, and with create, I mean like, oh my god, how did we miss that? Or what a great save from Miret, amazing. That those are chances, not putting the ball in the box and be like, man, if somebody was there, that would have been a good chance. But there's nobody there because that's how we play. Or there's one player out there and you just need to be very lucky to pick out that one player. Those are not chances. 100% agree. The people blaming Vlahovic are blind. Vlahovic would be a monster with an attacking coach. Just look at him when he was at Fiorentina under Italiano. He needs to do better in certain situations. Like I agree with that. But the biggest issue, like, it's not a good hold up play. It's not gonna bring us chances and goals. Like, that's not the issue. It absolutely is not. Because if that was the case in the second half, we should have created a shitload of goals because Milik was excellent in possession and hold up play, and we created absolutely nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. You can't look at stat as goal per minute. You have to look at the deeper stats. I agree. But just the eye test, like the eye test. Not blaming Dusan, just pointing out he looks like he wears clown shoes recently, and as other strikers have been better. Okay, whatever. You know, okay. I agree. Milik have been better on the ball. We still don't create absolutely nothing, and there's still no goals. So. Good. Is that a win? Should I be excited about that? Is that the game? You know, looking at, Milik is better on the ball. Good. Still 0 goals. Still no chances created. You know, what's the point? What's the point? Okay, Milik was excellent on the ball in the second half. What did we create? Let me know in the chat. What did we create in the second half? Milik was excellent, by the way. He was in the second half. What did we create? Like, it makes absolutely no sense. We're just nitpicking now, and we're trying to blame Vlahovic, and we're trying to spark a discussion when the discussion should be something completely different. It should be. Milik didn't have a sniff at a chance or a goal. He didn't. Or did I forget about it because I was pissed off sitting in that stadium? I cannot remember Milik having a good chance with his excellent hold-up play. Because if I missed that, let me know in the chat, you know? Because then, yes, you're right, you know? Your theory is correct. But it didn't happen because that's not the issue, you know? What are we going to do with... Okay, Vlahovic goes out there, great hold-up play, great first touch, but we don't create chances and we don't score. How is that going to help us? Like, somebody needs to explain that to me. That's what I mean. We're looking at things that shouldn't be that shouldn't be the main focus at this moment in time. Yes, he needs to do better, but we don't create chances. I will go at him if we create 5 chances a game or 4 or 3 and he misses all of them. I will be pissed. But you have people now blaming him for not taking that one chance he gets a game. And at time, it's like it's Sporting, Cuadrado overhitting a simple cross. And Vlahovic needing to stretch his entire body to even touch that. And you have people saying, but he should be doing better with that. Okay, then. We deserve where we are, if that's the case. We absolutely do. When was the last time Vlahovic received a ball like Osimhen received that in the last 70 minutes? Were he out there over the bar? I cannot remember. You know, I remember one at Sporting from outside of the box, and he took a shot that wasn't a good one. You have people saying you need to be doing better. It was freaking outside of the box. Like, it's sad. Like, it's sad. I agree with you. If you want your striker to hold up the ball, you should have bought a target man. They don't score much. I agree. You know, I agree. Some people like that. You know, that's preference, obviously. But that's not the issue. Like, it's like we have eyes, you know, and we don't create chances. It's as simple as that, you know. It's not with hold up play. It has nothing to do with that. Absolutely not. because Milik had a good hold-up play, but the moment he lays off that ball is never coming back. For some reason, Milik will never be at the end of that. Even when he makes those runs, I have no idea what the idea is. You have Di Maria trying to force something, and if it doesn't work, the ball goes straight back to midfield, and it's again same thing, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up because my voice is gone. Like it hurts. It actually hurts. Thanks for watching. Because I was planning to do it for only 30 minutes. It's been an hour. So thanks for watching. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And tomorrow is a preview because we play Inter. Not looking forward to the presser, but yeah, interesting. Not interesting, but let's see what he's gonna cook up this time. Will there be a daily? No, there will be not. Yeah, there will be a daily. I'll do a daily. So daily and preview, and then Wednesday the usual stuff. You know, post game and all that jazz. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys